Thank you. Morning, everyone. I would like to share about the intimacy with Christ. Um, I think it was in December or November that Jasper sent us a video of Louis Giglio. Sure, and that really spoke to me because I'm running around and busy all the time. I've got to a stage then, especially where I felt that I'm not really spending as much time with the Lord in my quiet time as I need to. And Louis Giglio had a presentation of a table that was set before the congregation, and then there was this one guy walking, and he was then presenting Jesus, and he was inviting this guy to come and join the table with him. And the guy was standing there looking at his watch and saying, "Sure, I have another appointment, but it was nice to see you. But can we quickly have a selfie?" And so he took a selfie and he said goodbye and he said he's very sorry, but he has to run. And just around the corner, he was meeting some friends, and he said to them, he just had the most amazing time with Jesus. Um, and he showed them the picture. And we all know what happened before. So there was no real amazing time. It was just a quick fix, and then it was gone. And that really ministered to me in a big way. And then I'm going to share a bit about my holiday, just to bring that into context and how important it is to always be ready in and out of season, and how the Lord really just direct our steps, and how if we realize that if His presence goes with us, how He can really have an impact for His kingdom wherever we go. Um, so I'm referring to the scripture, I think it's 1 Peter 3:15, that says, "But sanctify the Lord in your hearts and always be ready to give a defense to everyone who asks you a reason for the hope that is within you, with meekness and fear." And then the other scripture that's referring to how he directs our steps is Proverbs 16:9. In the hearts of human, uh, uh, in their hearts, human plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. And then Proverbs 20:24, a person's steps are directed by the Lord. How can anyone understand their own way? And then in the New Testament, the scripture is Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purposes. And I was just wondering over this past week, how many times do we really purposefully allow the Lord to use us um, for fulfilling his plans and purposes for our lives and the people around our um, lives to fulfill his purpose. Um, then, so he wanted to go to visit this friend of mine in October already because Patrick turned 60 then. And we thought it's a good idea to go because she's got a friend there that's also having the same date for his birthday than Patrick. And then a week after his birthday, we realized that my daughter might go into labor. So we decided not to go. And then that little girl decided to only come in December. So we never went last year. And then I had my year ends in January and February, so we never went. And then I said to Patrick, if he can take leave, it would be amazing. But if not, I'm going without him, but I'm going with the presence of the Lord. So I went on my own, and I think it was very good to have some girly time for a change because Patrick and I normally do everything together, if we go on holiday at least. Um, And I just realized how the Lord is talking to us through circumstances and opportunities because that's exactly why I couldn't go at that time. But I realized when I was on holiday that his timing is just absolutely perfect. And because I was so busy, I let my friend know that we're extending the visit or postponing it And I never really spoke to her a lot during the time. I never gave the area a lot of thought. And the day when I landed there, I realized that I had a neighbor that we were very close with, that also moved to a mom that's living in the same area. So I really just sent her a message that evening when I arrived there to ask them if they are still living there because they were planning on moving to Australia to where the other kids are. And she was so excited to hear from me. She phoned me immediately and she said, no, they're still around and when can we meet? And she said that she was still busy until Wednesday, but Thursday definitely so we made an appointment for breakfast and she and her mom is staying in Hermanus area. And and then they took us around. So we spent a lot of time together, all of us. But my friend and my old neighbor's mom are both widows. And we realized that their husbands' names were even the same and they're almost the same age as well. So it was so great for them to meet because they've been living in the same area for years, and I have been trying to get them connected, but for some way, I think it's just difficult to meet um, um, people that you don't know if you're not really a extrovert and really interested in meeting new people. Um, and then I realized that my friend's mom was also away. She visited the children in for the last 6 months, and she only came back a few days ago. And then I realized the one day we were sitting outside. They took us up to a beautiful view to see the whole coastal and mountain area. And all of a sudden, her mom just asked me if we would please pray. And she named specific situations about the children and yeah. And I just felt that it was so amazing that we don't really know each other. I know my neighbor, or my old neighbor, and I have met her mom before. Um, and then, so we enjoyed our day. And when we went home that afternoon, we all came together and prayed for the different situations. So it was really just amazing for me to be able to be an instrument in the Lord's hand. And by the time I went to my friend, I was really so tired. I just needed to sleep and a rest and the beach. That's all I wanted to do. And I even canceled all my meetings. As you know, I haven't attended last week. I really just felt that I do not want to Zoom. I don't want to do the normal things that I'm doing in Gauteng. And then when I was preparing, I was just reminded of that scripture where Moses says that if the Spirit of the Lord doesn't go with us, they don't want to go anywhere. Um, and I just want to read you a piece of that scripture. It says, when all the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance of the tent, all the people would arise and worship, each at the entrance of this tent. And I just realized that this is exactly what happened with me over this weekend, because even though people, as Louis Giglio's example was teaching, and I must say I'm definitely not there where I want to be, but I'm walking the road to be there where I can really just sit with the Lord and spend that intimate time. Because I think that we will need that even more in the future times to come than ever before. But I realized that because on Sunday, I said to my friend, one of the reasons why I stayed for the Sunday is to join her at her church because I just want to see where she's connected. And then she's like, she hasn't really found a church. So we were talking and we were thinking of going to Somerset West for attending a church there and maybe go to Babylon Storen after that because I've always heard about that and it sounds very amazing. And then the one morning I woke up and I'm like, I really want to get out of the Babylon system with all my heart, and now I want to go and visit the Babylon Storen. And I just felt in my spirit it's not the right thing to do. And when we meet with my neighbor again, I just mentioned that. And her mom said one of her friends that is really living a very close or walking a close road with the Lord felt exactly the same. And I said to them, okay, so what are we doing then? Where are we going to church? And then they were talking about the churches in their area. And through our connection with missions, I have realized that the Shofar churches is very much connected with missions and outreaches and very much word based. So I suggested then we go to their Shofar a church for the Sunday. And when we entered the church, my neighbor's mom's one best friend met her there, and she's like, I have been waiting for months for you to come and visit us at this church because I think you belong here. And I thought it was just so amazing because even my friend really loved the church. And I thought if it was me going there or if it has to take me to go there and visit them to get them connected to a church in their own area and in their own community, because we understand how important community is, then it was really worth the travel and the whole trip to get them connected into their own areas. So yeah, I think the bottom line for me of this whole week is like Moses, our intimacy with God might lead other people to turn back to Him, like in Exodus 33. And I think I just want to say that we don't ever have to must underestimate the presence of God in our life. And it's not about where we are in the flesh. I think sometimes we really struggle and we feel like we're not there yet, but it's where we are in the spirit because He has foreknew us before the foundations of the earth. And because of His sovereignty and our will to obey Him, lives will be transformed because just for us to be who He has created us to be and to be to walking in obedience with Him. Yeah, and then Jasper, if you can maybe just play that song for us.
Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth? Matchless love and beauty in this world. For nothing in this world can satisfy. Jesus, you're the cup that won't run dry. Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth? Matchless love and beauty in this world. For nothing in this world can satisfy. Jesus, you're the cup that won't run dry. Your presence is heaven to me. Your presence is heaven to me. You are merciful, Redeemer of my past and present wrongs, the holder of my future days to come. Your presence is heaven to me. Your presence is heaven to me. We sing, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Your presence is heaven to me. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Your presence is heaven to me. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Your presence is heaven to me. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Your presence is heaven to me.
To realize that His presence is really more valuable than we can think. And just to walk in the authority. I've listened to a teaching of Bill Johnson a while ago, a long time ago, and he was really hanging on to the scripture. He was saying when he enters any place, he stops before the door and he said to the Lord, if your presence doesn't go with me, I'm not going in there. And I just really experienced that this week. So it was really a blessing, and I hope that it's blessing you as well.